Hello everyone and welcome to this complete Python programming course. If you have never written a single line of code before, don't worry. This course is especially designed for beginners. By the end of this course, you will be able to write Python programs confidently and understand the logic behind the programming. Before we start coding, we should answer the question why to learn Python. In today's world, Python is one of the most important programming languages in the world. It is used in artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, web development, automation, cybersecurity, game development, and even in robotics. Companies like Google, Netflix, Instagram, Spotify, NASA, Microsoft, and many others usually uh, want Python in different parts of their system. So, learning Python opens the door to many career opportunities. And Python is very beginner friendly. There are many programming languages like C, C++, Java, JavaScript, and many more. But why do most beginners start with Python? Because Python has very simple syntax. If you have to write a simple printing code in C++ or in any other languages, you have to write multi lines for that. But in Python, you have to simply write in one line. Like if you have to print about hello world, so you just have to write in Python print, and in parentheses you have to write hello world. That's it. Python let us focus on problem solving instead of worrying about complicated system and its syntax. So, where Python is used, let's see some real world applications. If you want to become an AI or machine learning engineer, Python is the first language you should know. If you are interested in data science, Python is the industrial standard. If you want to automate repetitive tasks like renaming files or sending emails automatically, Python is perfect for that. Python is also used in web development using frameworks like Django and Flask. In cybersecurity, Python helps in scripting and automation. Even in game development and desktop application can be built fully using Python. What we will learn in this? In this course, we will start from absolute basics. We will learn how to write Python programs, variables, data types, operators, input and output, conditional statements, loops, strings, lists, tuples, dictionaries, functions, file handling, exceptional handling, object oriented programming, which is also called as OOPS. And every topic will be explained with simple examples and coding demonstrations. I have just one request. Don't watch these videos. You have to make notes or also practice it in VS Code or any other tool, whichever you are comfortable in. Programming is a practical skill. So if you will practice, then only you will learn better. Even you make mistakes, that's completely normal. Every programmer learns by debugging and improving. So keep practicing consistently. Now that we know what Python is and why it is so popular, let's begin our journey. In the next part of this video, we will write our very first program and understand how Python executes the code. Hello everyone. In the previous part, we understood what Python is and why it is one of the most important programming languages in the world. Now, it's finally time to write our very first Python code. But before we write anything, we want to ask you a simple question. Imagine I give you 500 rupees and ask you to keep it safely. What will you do? Some of you may keep it in the wallet, some of may put it inside a drawer, some of you might keep it in the bag. Now imagine after 1 week I ask you, where is the 500 rupees? You immediately know where it is because you store it somewhere. Now think about a computer. A computer also stores information. It stores your name, it stores your age, it stores your marks, it stores your password, it stores your photos. But how does a computer remember what value is your name and what value is your age? It can't simply remember everything randomly. So we give every piece of data a name. That name is called a variable. A variable is simply a name that stores a value. That's it. Don't think of it as something complicated. A variable is just a container that stores information. Let's understand this with another real life example. Imagine you have three bottles. One contains water, one contains milk, one contains juice. If none of these bottles have labels, it becomes difficult to know which bottle contains what. So, what do? We put labels: water, milk, juice. Exactly the same thing happens in programming. The value is inside the container, and the variable is simply the label attached to that variable. Now, let's see how we create a variable in a Python. Like if you have to write any name, for example, my name is Anushri, so we will write name is equal to and in uh, this we will write Anushri. This is probably the simplest Python statement you will ever write. On the left side, we have to write variable name, and on the right side, we have to write value, whatever value we are going to take. Python takes the value and stores it inside the variable called a name. Many beginners think the equal sign means is equal to. Actually, in programming, this equal sign means assignment. It means store the value on the right side into the variable on the left side. So don't read it as name is equal to Roger or name equal to Anusha, whatever your name is. Instead, read it as store Anushri inside the variable called name. That is the correct interpretation. And like for another example, we can take age is equal to 8. Again, Python creates another variable called age and stores the value 8 inside it. Now suppose I write college is equal to LPU. So what happened? A new variable is created. This variable stores text. Earlier, we stored a number. Python doesn't ask us whether it is text or a number. It figures it out automatically. This is the one of the best advantages of Python. In other languages like C, C++, and all, we have to tell if it is int or string, float, but in Python we don't have to tell. In language like C, C++, before creating a variable, you usually tell a compiler what type of data it will store. For example, if you have to write age, so you have to write int age is equal to 20 or string name is equal to Anushya Roger. But Python says, relax, I can figure it out myself. So in Python, we simply write a is equal to 8. Python automatically understands that 20 is an integer or 8 is an integer. Similarly, name is equal to Anushri or Roger, then it will automatically understands that it is a string. This feature is called dynamic typing. You don't need to memorize this term today. Just remember that Python automatically detects the type of data. Now, let me ask you a question. Suppose I write marks is equal to 90. What do you think it stores inside the variable? Now, what a store inside variable? It will be 90. Very simple. And variables can change. Now, here is something very interesting. Variables are called variables because their values can vary. For example, if age is equal to 8 and if we will write print age, then our output will be 20. Now, suppose next year it becomes your birthday and your age will be 21 or 9. Suppose you have taken 8 and your now age is 9. So you can update, write age is equal to 9 and then Python create another variable. No, Python don't create another variable. In the same variable now value will be new. New value stores. The old value is replaced. That's what that's why they are called variables. So now we should start with doing our programming in VS Code. I hope you all have installed and set up your VS Code. VS Code is most widely used tool for programmers. So let's write the most famous Python program in the world, which is Hello World. We will start with writing our first program to know how to print anything. So in Python, whenever we want to print anything, we have to write print keyword and then parenthesis. And if it is string, we have to write in double quotes. We have to write like example, we want to write a print hello world. So we will write hello world and we can run it. Wait, can't able to run. Don't know what the problem is. Let me try in another folder. We can name anything to our folder and we can start with this. And now we will make a file. Yes, so now we will write. And we can run this code from here. Run code. It takes some time, but it will see it shows the output here in the terminal. You can see whatever you have written under double quotes, you can see here hello world. So we can click this and we can print anything more, whatever we want. Like I want to write print welcome to Python. It will also get printed. You can see here. run code or run Python file, whatever you want, you can do it. It will take me some time and it will print. Like for another example, we are going to write print and suppose my name is Anushri and more I want to write. Then I write print. mm, I like programming. Notice that Python simply prints whatever text is inside the quotation marks. Okay. Now, another common question is, should we always use double quotation marks? No, Python allows both single quotes and double quotes. We can also write anything, whatever we want to print under single quotes. Both produces exactly the same output. However, most programmers prefer double quotes because they are easier to read, especially in longer strings. See, we can print like this. If you want to print something other than strings, we can write directly. Like if you want to print integer, we can write, like example, we want to print 90. Notice, numbers are not included in double quotes because Python understands that 90 is a number, but internally Python treats it as a text, not as a number. This difference will make very important later when we learn about data types. Printing decimal numbers. You can also print decimal numbers. This is also called float. Like for example, we are doing 34.6 any random float digit number and we can print it like this. Again, no quotation marks are needed because these are numbers. Python can also print Boolean values. For now, let's uh, remove this and let's take a Boolean value. Boolean values are true or false, so let's try to print true. It will, here also, we don't need any quotation marks. It will get printed. When we later understand about decision making and conditions, this Boolean value will become extremely useful. Printing like variables, let's combine today's topic with the previous. Now suppose you want to write a variable as I told you like name is equal to initial. Okay, make it equal. Hmm. And I can print it like print name. And name get output as name. We will get output initial. When printing a variable, we don't write quotation marks around the variable. So we get it. This is one of the most common things to do. So now let's take one more example with city. Suppose we are taking Delhi. Okay. So we will print and then whatever we have a variable name that is city. Do you get it? See, um, I'm commenting. Uh, I will tell you afterwards what the comment is, but for now, let's see whatever I'm telling. Here, city is variable name. Okay, and you can print any variable regardless of whatever type of data it is stored. Like if there is any variable called marks, for example, marks 59, uh, we can write print marks. And we can also do like printing, let's make another file. Like for example, we want to display both the student's name and age. So we will make a name and age, suppose 20, and we will write print. Here we are doing multiple values together. Like earlier I was just doing one thing and now I'm doing both together. And age. And let's not give me a space and see what output we get. See, I have not given here space. Here only I have given comma. But here we get a space. Python automatically inserts a space between them. Now let's try another example. Let's write here print age and 20. See, again we get a space here. So this makes our output much easier to understand. Here we don't have to give space. Okay. So many beginners think print is only the displaying messages. If we want to print anything or display anything on this terminal, or we want to get the output, only print is to be used, but not. Which is not true. Actually, programmers use it for another very important purpose. Imagine you are writing a program with 500 lines of code. Suddenly, the program gives the wrong answer. What will you know? How will you know that what mistake is occurred? One simple technique is to place print statements in different locations. For example, print uh, program started, then print user logged in, then print calculation completed. Now, when the program runs, this message tells us exactly how far the program has executed. Okay, so this process is called debugging, and print is one of the simplest debugging tools. So, alright everyone, we have understood the theory behind variables. So now it's time to actually write some Python code and something. It's not something you can learn only by listening. We can learn it by writing code. So let's switch to VS Code, open VS Code, and let's make a file, another file. Let's take a name, um, name it as Kavita. For example, we have took a name and gave it a name Kavita. On the right hand side, we have a value. This is a variable name. Okay. So one more thing. If you have to give a single line comment, you can do by hashtag. After this, whatever you are going to write, it will not execute because it is comment. So, whatever you want to give notes or whatever you want to write, like which you don't want to run, you can give comment for single line, uses hashtag, and for multi-line, let me show first for single line. Like, name here, name is here, variable name. Don't confuse. And Kavita is actually the value of the variable. Okay, are you getting it? So for this, um, after this, one more thing, like a single line. I should write this. This is a single line comment. Okay, and multi-line comment means like if you don't give a hashtag, then it can execute. So it will show error. But we will write a hash, yeah? So it is a single line comment. And for multi-line, uses this. And between this, you can write anything. Wait. Sorry. This we uses in C, C++. Here we uses this. Here you can write anything. It will not gonna execute. This is a multi-line comment. Okay. So you can write here also my name is blah 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 and anything. It's not gonna give error or anything. Okay. My name is Mulkan. So let's start whatever we are gonna write. Let's remove it for now. It's taking the space for no reason. So as we discussed earlier, Python stores the value like Kavita in memory and gives it a level name. So let's run the program. If we are going to run this run code in terminal, note this. We are not getting anything. This is just path, like in which folder and in which file we are making. So many beginners think that the program is not working. You might be thinking my program is not working. But it's not like that. Actually, your program is working perfectly. Creating a variable doesn't display anything on the screen. It simply stores the value on memory. So for displaying the variable, if you want the variable to be displayed on the output on the terminal, you have to use print function. So here we will write print and then our variable name. Our variable name is name. So now if we are going to run this code, we will get the output. Let's see what output we're getting. What we are getting an error, I don't know why. It's it's name is not defined. Oh no. Let's do it once more. See, we got Kavita. Now to get the output, you just have to write print and then variable name. This is a very common mistake sometimes, but it's okay. And one more thing, like if you are thinking, what happens if I give double quotes between my variable? Do this one, run this once more. Many will think it will give the Kavita as an output, but it will not give that output. It will just print whatever in the inside double quotes. Because in the first line, Python sees name as a variable. In the second line, because of the quotation marks, Python treats it as a normal text. So always remember, without quotes, variable; with quotes, text. Okay. If you're writing without quotes, it is a variable name. Okay. And if you are doing this quotes, double quotes, you're writing anything inside double quotes and print statement, it will give output as it is. It will see it as a text or you can say a string. So let's take another example. Age. Let's take age is equal to, let's take 50. Let's suppose someone age is 50 and we will write print what is this? Print and age. Okay. So you might be thinking we have not written this 50 as a double quote, but actually, we don't need it to write because it is integer, so we don't need double quotes. It will display 50. Okay. Suppose let's write height. Height is equal to like suppose my height is 5.5 and I want to print height. Uh, let's make it more readable. And this time variable is storing a, let's see, this time a variable is storing a float digit. Python automatically understanding that this is a float point number and this is an integer. Okay, and let's take a boolean value. Let's take like is z student is equal to true. See, true and false are boolean value, which you will know after some time. I will take lecture on that. But for now, so let's take it as a value of a variable. Okay. So if you are writing print is, see here, we will get solution and we can do it easily. So variable can even store true and false value, and we will study it in detail in the when we are gonna learn decision making. Okay, C equal to I've written my mistake, so that's why I'm going to come now. This C. Okay, got it. Each variable stores different type of information. When I run a program, each print statement displays a value. You can also write the multiple variables together, right? And name is equal to uh, picture. Age is equal to, let's say, to be taking 50, okay? And college is equal to and we write print statement, print name, comma, age, comma, college. Okay? So instead of writing these three variables in a three different statements, we can print multiple values in a single statement. See, we got that 15 MP. Python automatically puts spaces between them. We don't have to like put spaces here. It comes automatically. Let's take one more example to make it more clear. Like updating. Okay, let's make another file. And that will be easier to understand. Let's here take a variable named marks. Okay, and store its value as example 75. Okay, and print marks. And we are doing updating this variable. Let's write property name first. And like see, first we are given marks as 75, and then we want to increase it as make it to 90. We want to update these marks. Like for example, you have got 75 marks, and then you gone to teacher and then recorrected it, and now you're getting 90 marks. So here, what you're gonna get? Why this is called variable? Variables are called variables because their values can change. Initially, marks store 75. Later, we assign 90 to the same variable. The old value is replaced by the new value. And when we run it, we first this marks its output is getting 75, and then we are getting 90. And if we are doing replacing this variable multiple times also, every time we assign a new value, the previous one is overwritten. The value always stores the latest value. Like for example, if we are like commenting this and then we are running it again. Okay. So we are getting 90. We are not getting 75 because first it is getting updated and then it is getting printed. And different data have different variables. left uncommented. Name is equal to, let's suppose, unlimited. So 16 is equal to Delhi, country, India, age, let's suppose 20. And like instead of this, like writing name and city, country, you must be thinking like we have to write this much long. No, it's not necessary. You can also write like C or A. Like let's take it as a B. Okay, and still it will run. But imagine writing everything is A, B, C, D. The program would still work. But after 1 month, when I wouldn't remember what ABCD represent. That's why always choose meaningful variable names. Let's do a small exercise together. Pause the video and try creating these variables yourself, like student name, student age, student marks. Now print all these values. Pause the video and write the code, run it, and then continue watching. Like that only you can learn by practicing it yourself. And let's comment it out for some time. And let's play a game. Not like game, but let's see if how much you have learned. Redeem the output. Okay, x is equal to 10. Print x is equal to 30. Print x. X is equal to 90. And print x. Before running this code, I want you to predict the output. Will Python print only 90 or it will print 10, 30, 90? Think for a few seconds. Now let's run this. It is giving output 10, 30, 90. Why it is giving? Why not only 90? Because we printed the variable every assignment. If we have written only one print at the end, then only 50 would have been displayed. Okay. So in the next topic, we will learn one of the most important functions, and for that time, you can wait. Alright, everyone. In the previous topic, we have learned about variables. We know that variables are used to store data. But now the question is, what kind of data can we store? The answer is that a variable can store different kinds of data, and it can be stored in different like boxes. In simple words, data type tells Python what kind of value is stored inside a variable. For example, suppose I create a variable to store my name. My name is text, so its data type will be string. If I create another variable to store my age is a whole number, so its data type will be integer. If I store my CGPA like 8.75, for example, it contains a decimal point, so its data type will be float. And if I store a value like true or false, then its data type is Boolean. Now, you might wonder How Python knows the data type. The interesting thing about Python is that it is a dynamically typed language. This simply means that we don't have to tell Python the data type. Python automatically identifies it based on the value we assign. For example, we write name is equal to Roger. Python automatically understands that this is a string. And if we write age is equal to 20 or something, it understands that it is an integer. So unlike languages like C or C++, we don't have to write int, float, or string before the variable name. Python automatically does that work for us. Let's now discuss some more built-in data types in Python. First one is string. First one is string data type. Anything written inside the quotes or double quotes is treated as a string. For example, a person's name, city, college, or even a complete sentence. We can also check its type by writing name is equal to Roger and then writing inside the type. We have to write variable name. So here variable name is name and we will get the answer str. The numbers which contain decimal points are not in the data type of integer. They are in float. Float represents decimal numbers like 3.14, 0.1, which are in fraction. And the fourth important data type is Boolean, which is true or false. Apart from these, Python also provides many other built-in data types such as list, tuple, dictionary, set, range, complex, and many more. Don't worry about this now. We will study each of them in detail in upcoming lectures. Now, another important question is how can you check the data type of a variable? As I told in this example, Python provides a built-in function like type and parentheses, yeah, you can write, which we will understand practically in a moment. So let's now switch to VS Code. You can open your VS Code now. Let's create a new file. And now, and now let's start with our first data type, which is string. So now start with our first data type, which is string. Like name, and in double quotes, we write like whom. Example, my name is Anushri. I write Anushri and friend name, and then run this code. We will get Anushri. But how we actually know if it is a string or not? We can know by writing type, and in bracket we can write name and print it. Mm, Control C. Class str means it's a string data type. So now let's go to our second data type, which is integer. For example, let's take age 20 and print age. Also print its data type, class int. Simply we can do with anything, like for example, we want to know if our CGP is in float or not. We write first we'll give CGP is equal to 9.4 and then CGPA in type. Let's float. And one more data type is Boolean. In Boolean, there are true and false. For example, okay, and let's see by using an instance. The answer is true because the variable name is actually a string. Let's practice one more. So I hope you got the concept.